Okay, hello everyone out there in VC land. This is Tony. Tony's LPs are us, and we're over my very good friend Jay's record collection depot. And there's just so many records that we're just going over the new ones that Jay was able to pick up in his last trip to Florida to see some family. And when Jay comes back, he needs to get an extra suitcase on the flight because records are heavy. So Jay, thanks for coming on the channel.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, I appreciate this.
Here is my place.
Yeah, here and
I'm
here's
very happy to be here.
Jay has a great system, but we're not going to go into the system. We're going to go into the software, which for us is records. And in the back, you can see the BMWs right there. So Jay, thanks for coming on again. We're doing pretty good with the channel, so thanks, and please support by subscribing. And Jay's going to kick off and show us some albums that he recently picked up on the last trip.
Okay, and come on again. You guys watching this didn't miss anything because I haven't been on before.
That's true. That's true.
This is the first for me, so pardon me. He didn't give me much choice.
And if you need to take a nap, this will be the perfect video.
He gave me some like vegetables from his garden as payoff for
a little zucchini.
So I got to do my best shot. So anyway, my most recent trip to Florida, I usually always just do carry on for Florida, and that means I measure how much I can get on the plane coming back home. And I have a few favorite places I love to go to. So shout out to the legendary Bananas. They're my go-to.
You've always talked about Bananas on every trip.
And there's their warehouse, and there is also their main store, which is right next door to a phenomenal deli. So if you go to one, leave room for the other. It's a great place to sit down and have a great Italian. So,
and by the way, all you VCers out there, there's a great video. I think Michael Fermer did a tour of Bananas, and he went through either the warehouse or the retail area. But there is a great tour on Bananas, and Bananas is legendary, and Jay is quite the customer of Bananas and another store in Florida.
Well, I've sort of been milking their warehouse dry of things over the years that I needed to fill into my collection. So their warehouse, which I highly recommend visiting, it's like the Library of Congress of records. Good,
stores. Very good analogy.
I probably only walked away this year with one LP from there. This is actually a Olivia Newton-John compilation of her first 3 albums that were released.
Wow.
Now, that being said, if you happen to have those first 3 albums, US, you'll find that there are several tracks on it that do not appear on any of the US releases, which means they would have been from UK, Australian releases, and it's, it basically, if you're
and what's the condition? I know you're only going to buy VG Plus Excellent.
It's above VG Plus.
VG Plus Excellent.
I did save myself a few bucks. They had
cutout.
They had 2 copies. One was not a cutout.
Right.
The fee would have been more, but I'll be honest with you, after examining them visually and popping them on the table, this one had better play and a better look to it. So
excellent.
Cutout doesn't bother me in the least, and it gives me a few tracks that I thought I would never hear.
Now, when you're vinyl hunting, do you go with a list armed, or you just browse?
Nope.
Same here.
I'm mindless.
Same here.
And so
you know what you want when you see it.
So when you get the helpful person in the record shop going, is there anything you're looking for? I'm going, the hands go up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I know it when I sees it.
Exactly.
And so
this Carmine at Pieces has an excellent story attached.
There's a few albums that I mixed in here that I picked up over a special book sale
in Jersey. Well, they know about that because I've done those videos there. You were with me.
So everything that I come across that I showed you for that.
Yeah, that's excellent.
A bucket piece, so you can't go wrong. I always examine the interior. I don't just buy it, on the cover. So honestly, I haven't played it yet, but visually, it looks about as clean as you can.
And I tell you, I just picked up that jacket, and that jacket is in excellent condition. It's very durable.
It's promo.
Wow, nice.
So
very nice.
I've never seen it before, so
neither have I. I love the matted look to it.
So, and the closest I've ever been to Carmine Appice was when he drummed for Bowie on a tour he did, Giant Stadium, New Jersey.
Did not know that.
Yeah. What was like one of the many big comeback tours he did?
The Great White Duke?
Late 80s, early 90s, maybe.
Was it the Young Americans tour, or that was before that?
Nope, yeah, Spiders from Mars, I think.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Didn't like the album too much. Carmine Apiece, you're right. Yeah, definitely. I have the CD. I don't have the vinyl.
So,
these are nice. These are 12-inch 45s.
The other side of this camera,
yes,
actually gave me something that he got for $1.
Yeah, well, you know why, Jay, right? The same size on both, the same tracks on both sides. Yeah, so
I was the diehard.
Yeah, he's a Lone Justice
OG
person.
fan of,
yeah,
Lone Justice,
right.
And so in Florida.
Well, it's funny that day you came over and gave me your Pretenders chain gang 45 RPM.
Yep.
And
cool.
So that was cool. So
that was very cool.
That's really nice. I've never seen that.
12-inch, and this is 45, so it sounds phenomenal.
And you said it blows away the 33.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah,
respectfully.
Yeah.
2 tracks on the B side, and one of them is not on the record. So I happen to have heard it on some rarity releases that they had put out, but to actually have it on vinyl, Cactus Rose is great, and the last track on the B side is You Are the Light.
Excellent.
They closed their debut album out with, and I mean that debut album is phenomenal. If you don't know about it, check them out. It's not an expensive album to get their first album, self-titled.
Yeah, and I just want to point out to my friends out there, Jay and I go back probably 40 years. We met on I did video, and Jay and his father had a photography store in New Jersey, and I met Jay when Jay had hair like Robert Plant, and I had hair like Tony Latino does now. So
now I have hair like the top of Sade's hair.
Yeah, so. But this is weird because I'm now behind the camera again, and now Jay is so natural. You're so natural in front of this camera. It's a tribute because this was not scripted.
Starts with caffeine.
Yeah, this is not scripted. So let's continue. This is a nice one.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to implode at some point.
Yeah, this is a nice one.
Anyway, I was doing a service to Bananas, but I do need to say a friend of mine from Jersey, interestingly enough, tipped me off to another record store that honestly I've really deeply fallen in love with. First time I went there, I went with my aunt who lived in Florida at the time, and it literally looked like a total mess, which I love. I mean, it's like walking into like the dirtiest antique store. You're going to find the gems.
And you can smell it.
And I had a blast. Well, I visited it a couple times over the years, and this last trip, I cannot believe how much I dropped on multiple trips going there. But this place was phenomenal. I highly recommend checking them out. Clearwater Records in St. Pete, Florida. Well worth your time. The gems that I found there, they have such an amazing way of sectioning things off in the for 80s, for classic rock. Everything is broken out, and you can go to what you're looking for. And
can you test the record there?
Yes,
do they have a turntable, which is key with headphones?
Guys, bring a set of earbuds with you and put in a jack on it, because these places that have the ability to test play your own vinyl, they always have it on a receiver with a conventional headphone size jack, and their headphones would attach to it. Your earbuds would usually only have a 3.5 millimeter jack. So buy an adapter, carry it with you.
Excellent.
You'll get your best sound reproduction through a good set of earbuds, and you can really appreciate what it is.
And you know what those earbuds sound like, so you could judge better.
And you're not wearing anybody else's jersey.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah.
So,
well, that's how COVID was spread through headphones. Through headphones.
Not guilty.
Right.
So the stuff that I found, my first trip, I spent $174 on used vinyl, and it was crazy. Not a Catholic, but I got to tell you, I love the Catholic girls.
Well, they start much too late.
Little backstory. They are from New Jersey. They are truly the first all-girl band, new wave all-girl band signed to a major label, MCA, back in 1982.
Amazing.
I tend to think they got swallowed up under the Go-Go's, because when the Go-Go's dropped their album, that's all anybody could talk about. It was Go-Go's versus Bangles, Go-Go's versus Bangles. Each have a special place in my heart. I tend to think the Catholic girls sound, if you close one eye and one ear, you'll think you're listening to early go.
Well, when you were
They've got
tracking
that
this,
raw punk
yeah,
sound.
Jay was tracking this when I came in, and it's very impressive. I know the cover, I know the name rather. I've never seen this cover.
I've never seen the album.
Yeah.
Apart from my buddy who owned it back in the day when it was.
And that's also a cutout, so that never even made it to retail value. It was just it was probably $1.99 back in the day.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And you only paid $7 for it.
Yes, I believe that.
Yeah, $7. Yeah. Well, I have a photographic memory, so I did see that.
This one,
Nice.
I passed on the copy that I found of this in Bananas. They had the regular release. It's common, but I was always hoping I would trip over the Music on Vinyl store. I actually went to another record shop that I'm actually not even going to promote because I'm very honest with you, I've always felt hit or miss about them.
Right.
But I did walk in, and I specifically went to the letter I, and I just on a whim, I wanted to see. And believe it or not, they had the Music on Vinyl copy.
Beautiful. And that was sealed.
No, it was.
Oh, that was used. That was used.
This place also does not let you test play.
Okay.
So I went with the info that they had wrote on the label.
Right.
I changed the label.
Which is usually a visual rating.
They gave it a mint minus.
Okay.
Et cetera, et cetera. So I asked them, I said, do me a favor. So I'm not going to be able to test play.
Yeah.
I said, pull it out, lay it on a table, just make sure it's flat for me.
Well, when they pull out, you get in trouble. Yeah, you get in trouble,
anyway,
but that's okay. I always do that.
So,
but that's cool.
Music on Vinyl. This new would set you back $50. Got it used for $24.99.
Very nice, very nice.
I couldn't have been happier, and it plays phenomenally. There was Music on Vinyl, very limited version of this that was released in a very, very deep, beautiful shade of blue. I believe that one was a numbered release. This is the black vinyl. I really wanted the blue one. I wanted to hear because I had heard it was dead silent, but no regrets getting the black copy. And it's a great album.
And same with this store, no list. You just go in, look around, went to the letter I.
In the U.S., this album blew up for only one song.
Now, what category would this be in? Pop? Pop. Right.
Very, very good. She was an Australian soap opera actress. And
let me get a copy of that there. Wow. Very nice cover.
Album,
totally different makeup in the back compared to the front.
Yep. And there's interior photos and
well recorded a whole bit.
Very.
Okay. Now these are cool. I remember when you told me about this.
This is the one.
This I'm jealous of. Yeah, I'm jealous of. Yeah.
This is the early.
I missed this.
The worm.
Wow.
Flemington, New Jersey. Bookstore.
No, the late bird catches the worm. I was there first. Right.
Okay, right. Well, I was the early bird. I got it first. So this.
Never seen this. This is phenomenal. Wow.
4 tracks.
Small Town Acoustic.
6 tracks. 5 tracks. I took the day off of work. I do math all week long on my day off.
Well, it looks like Pink House is 2, 5.
4, 5. Okay, there you
5.
go.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
But
very nice. I noticed the barcode is removed.
Yes.
Because it was probably a promo, you think? A demo?
Oh, it's definitely a promo.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
And what's the speed?
I think it was a 45.
It's a 45. You told me it was great. Yeah, that's nice.
But
well, that's a European sleeve, so that's not an original sleeve. Oh, let me see that label.
Yep, 45.
Wow. But that's a European. This is not a Brit. It's not a Brit release, is it? It's American. Well, no, the inner's British. See, the British sleeves have that cut. See this cut?
Mm-hmm.
And so whoever had it put it in a British sleeve. But excellent.
Take a look at the.
You know what he said? He'll probably die in a small town.
Yep.
It's British. So is the record, is it an import from the back? Can you tell?
If you can, I don't have my glasses on.
I right. Don't know. But
let him fixate on that for just a moment.
Okay.
I'm gonna run downstairs and bring up something else I picked up.
Yeah, Jay has a phenomenal collection. Has a very good collection of early 80s female vocalists, imports. Jay actually photographed quite a bit of some of these bands. Actually, Jay is, why don't you tell us, you're published in the Pearl Jam book. Well,
That
that's a great story.
that was a gift, and I didn't real. You know what? I think the photo was gift worthy. I love the photo. So I my goal, obviously, when you're giving something to an artist, is in hopes to get something back. So I had an 8x10 of this photo printed and to get it signed. One for Eddie Vedder, one for Kurt Cobain, and Eddie signed first. Eddie signed first. I gave him the print. The band stood around the photo and was wowed by it. And I was like, wow, okay, it's very cool.
Why don't you describe it for us? I know the photo.
Well, anybody that knows the early days, Eddie was insane, and he would climb rafters, hang from pipes, and on Lollapalooza, he would always climb up to a high point and sing as high up in the air as he could, come down part way, and backwards dive out into the crowd. And the height that he was leaping from, I'll be very honest with you, I'm sure the lawyers must have been like freaking out every night. So
I don't think he was insurable.
I was on a few gigs, at a few gigs for that Lollapalooza tour because I was friends with one of the acts on the tour, and I used to always want to I would bring a camera along, of course, and I always wanted to get Eddie jumping, and you'd have to be in the right place to capture it. And the photographer's pit, you were too tight. You needed to be back a ways, and of course, Eddie's hair had to be flowing in the right direction, or you wouldn't get his face when he was free falling. And I happened to get lucky one night, and I got the shot, and that was the picture I gave him. And I had a pretty awesome shot of Kurt Cobain excuse me, Chris Cornell that I shot from on stage. So got Eddie to sign one, got Chris to sign the other, which, you know, is a bit of
amazing. It's amazing there. And the story doesn't stop there. It gets better.
Yeah, and maybe I'll get through it.
And what do you think? I remember about, what, 20 years later, they try to find they try to contact you?
I didn't even remember.
For rights,
I must have
yeah.
gave them my business card, and apparently, Pearl Jam was putting a book together of their catalog and of memories, and they were holding, as the story goes, if I'm to believe it, because I got this directly from somebody from Pearl Jam's organization.
One of their agents, yes.
That they were holding up the release of the book because Eddie was trying to track me down because he wanted my permission to put the photo in the book, and he wanted to know what I wanted to be paid for it. That was very touching, because what started out was a gift. They ultimately well compensated me for. I'm not going to discuss money, but it was an awkward thing for me to, have to ask, and all I could come back down to was, well, what size is it going to be on the page? The woman told me she thought it was going to be about a half page. So I gave her a standard rate for that. Turned out to be a full page. So
tricky, very tricky.
Very cool. So
but
if you
just
happen to have the book and you're flipping through it, you'll find a full page photo of them stage diving. You can check my name is credited in the back with the business.
Well, that was a great story, and I remember that the pains they went to track you down, because you have to remember, they had no idea you were still in business or the number was still operable, and it was, and
yeah.
So you got that phone call.
He must have misplaced the business card or something, because for one day to have found it and have Monkey Wrench, I think is the name of the
publisher,
the organization for Pearl Jam. But I kept all these years later the message on my cell phone.
Wow.
So
wow.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Very good, very good. So, okay, anyway, moving right along.
So back to Clearwater Records. This was trip number 2. I cannot believe I found this.
That's
Guys,
amazing.
When this came out, it was a double release, and they recently re-released it as the full concert on 3 LPs. I missed the opportunity to buy it at the time, and have quietly lived.
We had talked about it when you gave me the DVD of that show.
I actually found a copy used.
Unbelievable.
And it is about in as perfect a shape as you could want it to be. And I did throw it on the table and down there and listen to it, and it sounded absolutely incredible.
Phenomenal.
So yeah, I was like, there's just no way in the world I'm leaving it. The things that I was finding that I would not expect to find, mind blowing.
Okay.
Primitive's second album.
Very cool.
I got to see them open up for the Sugar Cubes in the 90s. Have their first album, never.
Yeah, I really appreciate you doing this because these are records that I haven't seen, and most people I know in the vinyl community haven't seen these.
Power pop.
Yeah, this is good.
Very
This
cool.
is good stuff. This is good stuff.
Clannad's. This is a greatest hits, more or less, a compilation, and always liked some of their material. See, Patriot Games. Their soundtrack from the first Patriot Games. I don't really want to have to grab for the glasses.
Yeah, I don't have my readers, but that's fine.
Came from Harry's.
We can. People will look it up. Just hold it up, and they can actually look it up. Right.
Bono, back in the day, did a track with them.
And what are these
on one album? And
on the bottom? Is that from the film or?
No, they're different albums.
Okay. Oh,
different albums.
Okay.
And for those of you that don't know, Mairead, the singer from Clannad, is the sister of Enya.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, if you were to
you can see the eyes are the same.
Look at her face, yeah,
the eyes.
You might think it was Enya.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay,
But,
great. Good stuff.
So anyway, it was very cool. Didn't mind.
Eighth Wonder.
Go back to England. Yep.
Wow, very nice.
For those of you who don't know, Patsy Kensit, again, a bit of a pop princess and actress, also. Lethal Weapon 2, guys. She was the love interest for Mel Gibson's character Riggs.
And you know, Clapton also did music for the Lethal Weapons. We were just talking about Clapton.
There you go.
Yeah, so
there you go.
Full circle.
All right.
And I smell a promo. I smell a promo.
Yep, I was thrilled to get this.
Just a little damage there, but no big deal.
That's all right. Albums that I've never seen before.
You know, I just do this because I'm anal about this, but since this is a black and we're keeping this, I would fill that in with a black marker.
Might do that.
And you won't even see it.
I
won't even, you won't even see it.
All right. Guys, this to me is an absolute
Holy Grail.
An absolute treasure. I had a copy of this, but it
Can you show us the label too?
It is warped. It is warped.
Okay.
Like my friend's mind here.
Yes, I was thinking that. Pink and Velvet, no comment.
Okay.
And that was only $4.
This is the last track on their Count 3 and Pray LP, which was their well, Terry's put out things under the name of Berlin, but this would be the last album that I would refer to as a Berlin record.
I've never seen this. I've never seen this.
That was their Pleasure Victim, Love Life, Count 3 and Pray. This was one of the tracks. They released several promos, 12-inch promos of different tracks. This one is the closing track on the LP, and having it on 12-inch, I don't remember if it's 33 or 45. I think it's 33, but the sound is so much better than on the record.
Definitely,
on the LP.
Yeah, yeah.
The brilliance in this track, the song itself is precious. It's a beautiful track, but it features a very special guest musician. The same guy who kind of carries the weight for this group right here.
Gilmore?
So, yep, it's all Gilmore. And interestingly enough, if you were listening to the track, when his guitar breaks out and he plays a lead and then he plays it again at the end and plays an extended version of it, that the song ends with him just like trailing off playing.
Do you know the recording was it done live with Gilmore, or was Gilmore later on?
I don't know.
Just add the track.
I don't know.
You know, it's funny. You're the one who told me the Hounds. What's her name? She was introduced to us. Kate Bush was introduced by us. By Gilmore. It's funny how
he helped fund.
It's funny how these super talented guitar players like Beck introduced us to some incredible women in rock, like Imelda May with Beck. That's how we learned about Imelda May.
What? Sure.
Yeah. Jay, can you get that photo of us with Imelda May?
I can do that.
Yeah, can you get that? Yeah.
Just to drive it home, one of the killer things about this particular guitar lead that he plays, if you listen to it, you might feel that it sounds awful familiar to you. It just takes a little twist to the side, but it is so similar to his guitar work in Comfortably Numb.
Okay.
And that lead in Comfortably Numb is just about as famous as it can get.
You know
So
what?
to hear it played on another song,
Yeah. Well, obviously he used the same guitar and amp, maybe, and you get that signature.
but it's
Gilmore.
not the Gilmore sound is always there, but the notes.
The notes.
The notes.
Well, there's only so many notes, right?
True.
Now,
True.
can I see the label before we do the Melda May inside the record label? Because that looks like it's good. Oh, it's a Geffen there. Okay. All right. Wow. Very nice. Okay.
Very, very Geffen-y.
Yeah. Very Geffen-y. Yeah.
Okay.
Another story.
And okay, I got, again, a lot of these are all Clearwater Records. Clearwater Records had a copy of this, and
Never seen that.
when I heard Atomic, when I put it on the table and heard Atomic, it sounded noisy. So I was like, I still want it,
Right.
because I wanted it for the B-side. And I asked them, I said, in light of everything I'm purchasing,
Right.
would you consider, because there was no price on this one album,
Right.
they gave me a very good price.
Very
on it.
nice.
B-side is the live version of Bowie's Heroes.
And Die Young Stay Pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And,
Right.
and the B-side, interestingly enough, Clean as a Whistle. No
People just
noise
played
at
the
all.
first track.
Somebody
Yeah.
decided they were going to beat Atomic to death.
Right.
So,
Right.
Carla DeVito's second album. I'm going to
Oh,
step it
very
up a
nice.
little bit.
Yeah.
Cool World, her first album. Honestly, legend. It was a great under the radar kind of record back in the day. And if those people don't know who Carla DeVito is, if you have ever seen the video for Meatloaf's Paradise by the Dashboard Light,
That is her.
even though that's Ellen Foley singing,
Right.
Carla DeVito is who was used
Right.
because Carla DeVito
Well,
during that tour was his backup singer.
were you with us when we met her at Chiller?
No, I was not.
Yes. Okay. So she was at Chiller, and I ran into her in the hallways at Chiller. Didn't get a signature. I hate bothering them for signatures in the hallway and things like that. People come up to them, but we did talk, and I mentioned a few of her. Another promo.
Yep.
Wow, that's a good find.
She married Robbie Benson back in the day, and as far as I know, they're still married.
Oh,
so,
okay.
very
So
cool.
there's little Bensons running around
Yep.
somewhere.
I am gonna do this. I'm gonna
The Imelda May too.
I'm
We
gonna
need
put
to
this
see that.
Imelda May
Yeah.
photo down and let Tony talk it up for a minute.
Okay.
Because
Well,
I need to run out of the room for about.
I'll tell you a story
2
about
minutes.
Imelda May because we went to see Imelda May
This
and
is me on a 2-minute break.
what was it?
to
Jackson. What was her first name?
Wanda.
Wanda Jackson was in Philly at
Who
the
held
Checker.
my hand and sang a song to me while my buddy's eyes were closed the whole time.
Yeah,
So I had no video verification, nothing.
but we met Imelda May backstage, and I said to her, she has such a beautiful voice, Irish brogue, and her singing voice is exquisite. And I said, I would pay just to hear you talk. And she goes, would you please tell that to my husband? And her husband was the rockabilly guitar player in the band. He's also on the Jeff Beck album, the Les Paul Rock and Roll Party, which I recommend, a double record. So that's Jay, and that's Tony, and Imelda. So really cool stuff. And we'll go over and see some more of Jay's vinyl while we're waiting. Jay has an exquisite collection here. And I got Jay into vinyl again, as my friend Ed got me back into vinyl again after a brief hiatus. Nice Julie London, some Smooth Operator, Olivia. Here's the, you can see the Sgt. Pepper, Peter Frampton Bee Gees movie, which I think is a great album. It gets a lot of hits, but it's got some great stuff on it, and just well recorded. So if anyone ever sees this record out in the wild, pick it up because it's really well done. It's really well done. Okay, Jay is back in the studio.
I'm back. All right.
Okay, so we'll move this along because we're at the 29-minute mark, believe it or not.
Okay. Clearwater Records again. Picked up a couple of videos. I had to have this. Not many Carly Simon
Aficionados.
concerts
Yeah,
out there,
yeah,
actually.
exactly.
So she performed this on the Queen Mary 2.
Was she
And,
walked onto the yacht at the time and you thought the song was about her?
yeah,
That's the
but,
connection. Yeah, it's a
but
connection.
very cool concert.
Right,
Very
right.
cool
Great shot of
concert.
her. So this was probably what, 80s or more recent?
Yeah, late 80s, maybe the 90s.
Yeah. Well, you know, friends don't tell other friends that the 80s is 40 years ago.
Yeah,
Right, right.
I don't even like to think
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, exactly.
So, and for $5, again, Clearwater Records for $5, picked up the video for all of the videos for Sarah Brightman,
Wow.
her video collection. So,
Wow.
you know, something that I didn't pick up back in the day, and I was like, for $5, come on, you know.
I know. You can't say no.
I got to meet her once,
You
so
can't say no. Right. Exquisite. Beautiful booklet.
so
And Jay's really into the booklets
beautiful lady,
because he's a
beautiful
photographer and his eye and his ears are top notch. I've talked about Jay on some of my videos. I said my friend Jay, he has excellent ears because I don't know, Jay, if I told you I have my ears professionally cleaned. And I said, Jay's ears are just, he picks out things like Sinatra would say, that fiddle player back there is off key. Jay could do that. He's just got excellent ears and eyes.
All right, now we're gonna slip into the weird. One of my favorite Talking Heads albums.
Mine too.
I could have bought the reissue for this, but I wanted a really, really clean copy of an original pressing instead.
You probably have this on
it's
CD
debatable.
from back in the
Yes.
day, but of course, yeah, right. I have that.
And so Clearwater Records again. This is an album. If you find a really good copy of it, you're going to pay a little bit for it, and I did not mind.
Yeah.
So $30.
Well, Talking Heads are up there like Tom Petty. To get a good copy of an OG Tom Petty, it's in the $30, $35
If I was going to
range.
buy a reissue, I would have been spending
But
at least
like we always say, no shipping. You're saving shipping, right?
Exactly.
And you could see it and you could hear it. There's no questions.
All right. So to move it along,
and the escalator up the escalator here.
Staying in the family of Talking Heads, Jerry Harrison side project.
Very nice. Haven't seen that.
Very cool. It's quirky. It's weird. It's fun. And it was
Was this a one-off?
Yes, I got this for $5 at Bananas. So we'll go back to Bananas, and this is from the regular store.
Wow.
And
that's even the back looks like a promo.
Yeah.
Very nice.
This would be more in the lines of like your Tom Tom Club kind of weird sort of thing. But
Rachel Sweet.
I got this
Stiff Records.
I was in the back room at Bananas where they've got like $2 records and stuff, and I spent way too much time looking for anything good there. But also there were a couple of really, really lovely young ladies.
Well, I thought you were going to go into like a Lou Reed song.
I wasn't going to leave
in the back room. Candy was everybody's baby.
So, anyway, enough said.
I have this record at home. I do have Rachel Sweet. Don't know what it sounds like.
I put it on the table first. So I was like, you know what? Jay can listen to this. So
this is a different cover for her. You don't see the typical cover. And who is she blindfolding? Do we know?
I don't know. Looks like a mannequin to me.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Is this on Stiff? Yes. It's Stiff Records.
Yep.
Oh, and this is nice. You did get that.
Back to Clearwater
Records. Our friend Ed would love this.
Clearwater Records has a huge area that is just
audiophile
stuff, and I grabbed a lot from their audiophile.
Yeah.
And I found that you would think if you were to buy audiophile records, you would know how to take care of them. No.
No.
A lot of people beat to death audiophile pressings of some really good stuff.
Maybe that's why they turned them in. So
this one, I found a great Jeff Beck audiophile, and I wanted it. I think it was for Blow by Blow, and I couldn't get it.
It was a half-speed master then. Yeah.
But this sounded great.
Right.
And,
now, who's on this with him? There's someone else on this.
Stevie Nicks.
Oh, Stevie Nicks, right?
Yeah,
right. Because I have the OG.
Tony, if ever I called you friend.
Yeah, I have OG on this. Wow.
Okay.
Wow, excellent. That's a nice find.
So $15 for an audio.
That was what you would pay for a regular pressing. Yeah.
And from one of their biggest albums of a particular period from In Excess, from the Kick album. I picked up two 12 inches, both from that album. Big hits.
Wow.
So
I love the cover. I love
very,
the
very happy to
silhouette.
get that. They sounded phenomenal. If I remember, I think one of them is in 33 and one is in 45.
So these are both 10-inch then. I missed
12
that.
inch, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Got it.
Right.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, very good. Very good. So,
going to close with one last thing.
yeah. Right.
And we're not getting to everything, but this.
No. Let me tell you, I really appreciate you.
For people that happen to know the Flying Lizard's first album,
I do.
For everybody, it's heard. The one great thing about this album is their cover track, Money. Well, I found, and I never knew about it. And when I went looking for it,
wow,
this is only released outside of the U.S., and you cannot find copies of this, maybe with the exception of Germany.
Wow.
I'm going to flip it over. I want you to see
the covers.
It's all cover tracks.
Yeah, Tutti Frutti, Dizzy Miss Lizzie, Sex Machine.
Yep.
James Brown. What's New Pussycat, Suzanne? Then He Kissed Me. Wow, Whole Lot of Love, Purple Haze. Yeah, you were telling me about this on the phone. This is good.
So
wow.
If you know how quirky they were covering Money, that's more of the same right here.
And I'm sure there was only one of these there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's
absolutely. You know,
that's a. Well, I thought you were going to pull out a copy of Billy Mooney's Fish Heads.
No.
Do you have that on vinyl?
I do not.
That is a grail for you.
So
that's a grail for you.
That'll be it for today. I said I found a few more real special things, but we're running the clock out.
All right.
So.
Well, here.
What?
Point the camera at me. I'm just going to do my finale.
Okay. All right.
See me there.
So long, folks.
Okay, well, Jay, I just want to thank you. This turned out. I'll put my hat on. Jay and I wear hats, but Jay's been a longtime friend. He's my best friend. I would say top 5 best friends I've had for the last 40 years. We met at a gig, and then I worked for Jay's father, Jim, who's a great guy. Jim passed away, recently, and so we've been close, family. But Jay, thanks. This was tremendous, and actually, I think you make me look bad because you're so natural in front of the camera that people are going to say, we want more Jay. We want more Jay. So we'll have to do some more Jay soon. And I'm going to get approval by Jay. I'm going to let Jay look at this video, get approval. But Jay, I tell you, it's really nice.
I'm good with it as is. I didn't drop anything I've been embarrassed to say.
No,
so
we kept it clean. We'll publish this. But please hit the like button, subscribe. And I want to thank everybody again. So we'll get Jay back on here. And signing off with the great collection of 80s and beyond. Thanks a lot, Jay. Talk to you later.
So long, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.